Well, here we are again, starting chapter 2 of this Let's Play. I've decided to be a little bit daring and move up the resolution of the capture and see if that helps the sound any. What I'm wondering is if the sound is actually coming through alright, because I noticed a couple of times at the last point I was cutting out a bit. Anyway, the point is, here I am again. I need to get into another fight. Bam! The fight music is also actually a bit addicting. I've always liked this fight music. I should probably explain that, shouldn't I? Emelia has nothing but the punch available to her, so I'm going to punch this thing. These slimes don't really react well to barehanded attacks, so I'm going to use her abilities. What does she have? She has laser knife, stun slash, double slash, hard slash, thrust, and smash. What does she have other than that? Just the punch. Well, okay, let's try to laser knife, use her basic sword attack on this slime. Now what's she going to do? She has 4 abilities in addition to her basic punch. These are all barehanded abilities. She doesn't need a weapon to use them. They're based entirely on her strength. So what she's going to do is try to, let's make it a little showy. I'm going to suplex this thing. And bam! Get punched by a slime. See, the thing is, these slimes, they don't react well to being punched because they're puddles of slime. Try punching a puddle. Let's see how far that goes. It'll make a splash, and then it'll all come back together. I don't exactly wonder how cutting a puddle works so much better, but apparently it does. So we're going to try to stun slash this slime, and just to illustrate, I'm going to try and do rolling cradle, which is a throw move on this slime. See what happens. Rolling cradle, miss, automatic, no questions. You cannot do that to a slime. You can't throw a slime. Good luck picking up a puddle and tossing it wherever you want to. Her strength was raised, that's good. Her HP was raised, also good. Waza points. Those are basically spell points for physical abilities. I don't know if I've ever actually gotten into that, but they're Jutsu points, the JP, which are for casting spells. And there's the Waza points, which are for barehanded abilities, sword abilities, gun abilities, physical weapon abilities. I did not get much into the rest of these screens. Items, you got your backpack that allows you, because these items, you have to actually equip them through equip weapon. You actually have to put them on a character in order for them to be able to use that item in combat. Unless you equip a backpack. The backpack allows you to use everything that's not equipped to you, which is always good. Now let's see, if you saw in my items, she also had some defensive items that I can equip here. Protection against blind is always good, and that also increases her defense by 6 and 8, a good 14 points, so her defense is up to 20. It's higher than hers, and higher than hers, which is, her defense is nice and high. That's always good. She doesn't have any weapons, because I don't have any weapons, but, do what you can. So Annie gets the power cure, and I will give her the ability to use a cure as well, because I can't have just one person having all the items. What if she gets knocked out? She's really, look at her HP. She's the most likely to get knocked out of the 3. Now, an interesting function of this is when you're knocked out, you lose a life point. Now, there's no mechanics, there's no revival items. There's not like Phoenix Downs or revives or anything like that. Because any kind of curing, any kind of healing, anything that restores hit points will bring you back. You don't need to use any kind of special revive item. The point there is the LP, life points. Every time you're unconscious, Every time you run out of HP, you lose 1 LP. If you're hit while you're down, you also lose 1 LP. Now, what's important there is if you run out of LP, your character is dead, and they can't come back. If this happens to your main character, it's game over, obviously. Can't go on without you. You're the main character, you drive the story. Abilities. As you can see, the different abilities are Stun Slash has a stun effect, Thrust is a move that uses both hands, blah blah blah. Humans are the only ones that can spark abilities. By that I mean, when they're in battle, they can spontaneously start using another ability. Let me arrange these in a more efficient fashion. I hate it when... I like having my abilities in, point order. 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point... And all the counter abilities I always put on the bottom, because they're out of the way that way. Now down here we have 3 slots. When a human sparks an ability, it fills a slot. That only happens in fighting abilities and sword abilities. Also dodge abilities, but those are kind of rare. Sword and fighting, you will see a light bulb pop up above their head, and they'll learn a new technique, and they'll use it immediately, for free. And then, from then on, it's available in the list. Now, you only have 10 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My bad, 8 slots. You have 8 slots that can be filled up, and there's like a bajillion moves. You can have like a combination of fist moves and sword moves. Like if she had any, barehanded fighting moves, she could put those in here too. Now you see that right in the top middle, that little blue flashing bar there? That's the mastery bar. If you have 6 or more of one of physical or magical abilities, and none of the other, you get mastery. Mastery will drop 1 point from the cost of all your abilities and or spells. So if I were to get one more sword ability, like say, for example, if I were to get Heaven Hell or Willow Branch or one of those sword abilities, the cost of Double Slash from then on would be 0. Hard Slash would be 1, Thrust would be 1, and Smash would be 3. Sun Slash is already free, but I really don't like. I really don't like stun abilities. That said, she has absolutely no abilities, and she's not likely to learn any here. So what do I have to do? Well, I obviously can't equip her with a weapon because I don't have any. What can I do here? Position. You can move them around, have Annie fight by herself, and Liza fight by herself, which is a really bad idea. But if you set them up like that, you can either have Emelia fight in the battle, or Annie fight in the battle, or Liza fight in the battle. It's a bad idea, though, because Emelia would never get any experience, and if she tried, she would get her ass beat. Configure. Explain the items, explain the menu choices, the items in the menu. You can change it to be, instead of showing hit points, life points, waza points, and jutsu points, you can have it instead switch to show quickness, or switch to show their intelligence score, or their strength score. That's pretty cool. The color of the window, the letters, all of that can be changed pretty much at your whim. If I wanted to do it this way and just have the letters be all black, that's one thing, but it's actually a lot harder to see that way. This is a much better way to go. Let it be a little bit, yellow. Window color. Have a red background? I don't know. Others. Sound, stereo, or mono. Battle speed, normal, slow, or very slow. Menu position, move the menu over here and up here instead of where it was. You can just hit B. I'm going to have to put this back to where it was. I really don't like the menu being offset, unless it's going to be like exactly in one corner. Saved, you know what that does. Item, use an item. Status, I already showed you, look at the status of your characters. And that's about how that works. I think I just spent the entirety of this particular episode explaining the menu. So we'll have to see how that goes.